Hey there, YouTube land. Taking a look at this knife in particular today. This knife being the Douk-Douk and Cognet collaboration. I had been looking at this piece for a long time, but hadn't pulled the trigger on it just because, even though you can see stuff on it like a stop pin, bird's eye pivot, you know, I couldn't really tell what was going on with it. I couldn't find anything on the internet to say whether it was a lockback or, slip joint. And it turns out it is, I guess you could call it a friction folder. But the thing is that it gets real stiff up there. And then, as you could just see, it falls away gradually. But, I mean, you can, I think this is pretty strong. Like, even though this would technically be a friction folder, I think that you could probably fairly easily, if you were careful, stab someone with this. I don't mean to be morbid or, macabre. But that's how stiff this is. And obviously you could slash. But yeah, so as far as I've used it to cut an apple. And I know as time goes on, this will get some use. I've used it already. And it's got a fine tip. This is hollow ground, although it's not super extreme. And it also is essentially a Warncliffe. I get it doesn't have that slope, but it is what it is. And so the tip, though fine, should be fairly strong. There is no kick at all, just isn't there. And that's by design. This rests in there right there. There is no snap. It just closes gently. Like I said, the stiffness opening, that's as hard as I could do it. So this is no joke, as hard as I can do it. So I'm gonna do it right. I'm not a weak man, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, this is an exceptional piece. It really is. It's gonna stay in my collection. I can tell you that right now. I really like it. I like how, elegant it is. I like how utilitarian it is. And I like how the business end is just all business. But anyway, I think people should check this knife out. I know it's gonna put people off that it's a friction folder, although it's with the pivot and I have no idea what that's called, or I'm sure someone could tell me in the comments. And I have looked a couple places for information, couldn't really find it, had to pick one up to see what was going on. So now, this is a look at this thing, I think about 2 years after I picked it up. And as you can see, the etching is all gone, basically. Wow. And it's picked up a lot of patina. This is the side the etching should be on. You can see that it's, I've sharpened it a decent amount. It picked up a little chip. I'm not too worried about it. I know you can see I've carried it a decent amount. And after using it quite a bit, I'm impressed. And also, here's something else to think of. I think it was recently I slammed it down into a table. I don't know why. And so the tip of this actually bent enough that I could catch my fingernail on it and pull, right? So I ended up taking one of those ceramic rods and just going a bunch, and it straightened back out into a fine tip. It's not super pointy, but it's fairly pointy compared to some knives. It's just crazy that that's how tough this steel is. I get this as a soft steel, but I also understand understeel, no pun intended. I understand, the reason for soft steel knives, especially peasant knives, and especially knives where you're going to be in the field and not have a huge chance to reprofile it, or you're not going to have the equipment to touch it up. And it makes it really easy to do. Here, I get it, I'm a knife collector and I have all the stuff, but it still makes it really simple. And, you know, this is, I recently picked up a handful more of these in various sizes, and they're great. Like, I think they're way underrated in this country, and it's kind of silly because people think, well, I get it, like slip joints, they do make it harder to fight with them, but if you use proper, this is, you know, listen, I used to be a Marine, but if you use proper knife fighting technique, that's not going to stop you from inflicting a massive amount of damage with any knife. But yeah, so this thing is my daily carry right now. Used to have a ton of patina, and I got it all off. But yeah, as for this thing, there really is no regrets. That's how stiff it is, man. And I feel like it gets a little bit stiffer if you like set it and leave it. You're not just like pumping it back and forth for a while. But as far, you know, I don't think that this could come open in a pocket, but I will say the chances of me, I mean, I would probably throw it in a pocket and not worry about it. I just couldn't see this opening up. Like, there's enough tension that it wouldn't. But anyway, I would not carry it without a sheath because it's so good looking. And I realize some guys, they don't like sheaths. I guess you'll either have to grow up or miss out on this awesome knife. But I can see where this wouldn't be for everybody. This is already picking up patina. But yeah, this is a very sweet gentleman's folder for sure. I think it shows that gentleman's folders don't always have to be these like neutered small knives. But anyway, that is it.